Hey everybody, Josh RV Nerd here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan, jumping on another one literally as it lands from the factory. That's how fast we work for you at Haylett RV. Coming in about 7,100 pounds. This is a personal favorite. This is a fan favorite, the 26D Bud Wildwood. Take a quick look through this thing with our floor plan in a flash. It has the, of course, Wildwood Versa Lounge, super versatile furniture. Pretty sure that's where the name comes from. Heated enclosed accessibility, taller ceiling, good storage. This one really benefits from good storage, not just in the kitchen, but also in the bedroom. Wait till you see that in full detail. The floor plan is fully travel accessible, which is also really beneficial for folks who maybe keep their RV stored at like a storage depot or something like that, and they're parked really close together. The stable steps over here, this is hard to do in a mirror. The stable steps, they're hard to deal with at a storage facility. That second door will let you get in and out. You can always get through this RV no matter what. And whether you need hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, or everything between, we only do everything here at Haylett RV. I'll try to be fair with you. I'll try to show you some things we like, some things that we'd like to see changed. And as always, if you appreciate our efforts here, hit that subscribe button, enable notifications, and give our team here at Haylett RV a call. We can't wait to meet you. Now, the first time I saw this one, I instantly loved it, which says a lot because the first time I saw this model, we were not yet a Wildwood dealer. I looked at it at another dealership because sometimes I traipse around and I see what is everybody doing, because I respect all kinds of different brands. They all do different things very well. I walked into this camper and I went, oh no, I hope I don't ever have to sell up against this one, because this is like fantastic execution. Half-ton towable, it gives us the incomparable Versa Lounge. It is a Wildwood exclusive kind of thing. And I tell you what I'll do is at the end of this video, kind of after the credits roll, I'm going to tack on about an extra 6.5 minutes showing you all of the function of this. And if you don't watch that, if you don't stay tuned, I don't know that you're really doing yourself a favor, because it is fantastic. When the fast flash footage was flying past you, we had all the windows open. You saw the panoramic viewing. Now, a quick note here. Wildwood doesn't tint their windows. The reason they don't do that is when the windows are open, it gives you more light. When you want to block the windows, they have a heavy roller blackout shade right here with a white backer to block the sun. So you get sun blocking when you want it, you get more light when you want it. You've got the panoramic XL windows. Then when we go outside, you'll see the side windows on the slides open for airflow. A feature that I really appreciate in a travel trailer like this is that 6'9" interior height. That's something that an X-Lite Wildwood does not have. It's 6.5 foot tall. That means that I can stand in this shower without my head in the bubble, whereas in the X-Lite, naturally, I have to have my head in the bubble. Now, they're doing an accent light above the slide like a lot of brands, but they went with just a plain white instead of the disco blue. I actually don't usually mind how the blue lights work because they incorporate it into their color scheme usually. But the white lights like this, I think, are a little more generic, and I think a little more generally appreciated across the board. The corner bunks over here have one of my favorite features, and that is the open air ladder wall. It makes the RV look and feel so much larger. And if you notice, they've given both the upper bed and the lower bed their own lights, their own USB plugs. So on a rainy day, when you are all packed in here, you're not tripping over one another, you're not driving one another crazy, you're not going, cabin fever stir crazy or anything like that. The command center is all kind of located up here, a little bit high away from the kiddos. And I hope you appreciate the fact, and I think it's a good reason, a good example of why you should subscribe and follow along to Haylett RV. If we see something that we would like changed, we're even willing to say that. Like, I know a lot of people are not going to be really jazzed about a lack of window in that entry door. But, frankly, guys, if I'm really wanting extra light and airflow, I can leave the screen door in place, I can open the main door, and I can still get it accomplished. And really, that's a good example of how Wildwood's like a very, I think, almost really the textbook example of what I call smarter class camping. If they can find a way, they can save you a few dollars and give you equal function, they're going to do it, and they do it so well. And again, nowhere is there a better example than that Versa Lounge. We'll come see the kitchen in more detail, but while we're coming from this direction, you can see a cabinet bottom to countertops backsplash wrapped around that big breeze-through window. They give you good breezes here. And these are all sealed edge countertops. They don't do that just here. They do it in the dining area. They do it all over the place. And I think from here, we're probably really well suited to hop into the bathroom, but I am at a better angle to cover the pantry here. We'll get the rest of the kitchen in just a minute. What I love about this, really, it reminds me a lot of something Cherokee started doing a couple seasons ago. You have this, like, I mean, it's tall, it's wide, lots of shelves, easy access. You could use it as partial pantry space. You could throw some kids' clothes at the bottom or something like that. Or you could maybe put kids' snacks in there. Now, this is something else I love. They purposely don't bring the cabinets, the shelving all the way out to the door jamb, which at a glance seems like lost space. But as a person who actually goes camping, I look at that and I go, oh, I've got space right there. I can put a broom or something in this space. I can hang some stuff up, and then I don't feel like I have to, like hide a broom, I don't know, in my bedroom, under the bed. It's there. It's easier to access. It makes sense having it like in a quick closet space. And just open stuff up. Sometimes less is more. If you look here under the bunk, it's all in the shadows, but there's a ton of storage going on in this place. And I'll tell you what, as a kid, I'd spend all day down there. You know what? You know what else this would be good for? Dogs, cats, little pet kennels, or me when I was a kid and I got all jacked up on marshmallows and Mountain Dew. You put a little dog crate down there, lock me in it. I'm not saying I recommend that for your kids. I'm just saying it would have been effective on me. From there, we're right next to the bathroom, and that taller ceiling is one of the things I love here, because in that 30-inch by 36-inch shower, we've got ourselves plenty of headroom, even for someone a little bit taller than the average bear like myself. That shower skylight is actually an optional piece of equipment, however, but they've gone away from that kind of plastic, retractable, I don't know, almost like a slow rise shade, but of a shower door, and given us the shower track with a curved bar at the top. A little more extra elbow room for folks like you and me. Now, some folks get a little freaked out when you have a door straight into the bathroom. Remember, we do have a deadbolt right here, so unless it's Smokey the Bear, ain't nobody coming through that door without your say-so, no sir. Flipping around the other way here in the bathroom, just to give you a complete look. Again, sealed counters throughout. That is a full medicine cabinet, not just a mirror glued against the wall. And you see, they did give us a little space there below the sink. You might wonder, why is there that panel there? Well, there's things like probably the water pump down there that they don't want you to accidentally, put cargo on top of and smash, or let the kids get to it or whatever. So again, the Versa Lounge here in the living room, giving us all sorts of flexible seating arrangements. I think this is my favorite arrangement though, actual lounge mode, because we still have a little place here where if you want to, a couple kids could sit down and eat. You could use it as like a little mobile office desk. I think it's a neat little office corner, but it leaves this extra long nap and lounge right here facing directly at the entertainment center. And that's the thing. When you look at what the Versa Lounge does with the way the entertainment center is positioned, it's brilliant. Now, if you don't care, if you're like, I don't care about the lounge, I want a bigger U-dinette, you got it. Again, check the end of this video to see the Versa Lounge in full-on mode. If you're like, I'm not going to put a TV in the camper, I don't care about that. No sweat. Personally, though, I always like that extra big seating. I could sit on there as an adult. I could take a little daytime nap space. Yeah, right, like my kid would ever allow that. Let's get the kitchen cracked open, shall we? First, we see that we have ourselves a large space for a wastebasket. Now, next to that, you see an interesting thing. You see drawers inside of a door. It saves you a little money. It accomplishes the same thing. Again, that's just Wildwood doing Wildwood things. It makes a lot of sense. Above that, you see the dish drying rack over the sink. High-rise sprayer faucet, kind of spring-loaded job, so you can, spray water all over the place. And plenty of outlets there, right where they're easy to reach, and I think right where you'd probably put a coffee maker. Now, Wildwood is really good about this in both Wildwood and X-Lite, the little brother to this one, throwing a shelf in that overhead cabinet. Remember, since this is a taller camper, you got a bigger cabinet there. Now, we already saw where it had one big pantry, and again, if you do use that for some clothing space, you always have a dedicated pantry space over here. Clutter-cutting shoe garage, keeping the shoes out of the way, although you could also probably just throw some shoes inside that little door area right there. Bluetooth soundbar with HDMI plug and USB power plug, so right now what we're looking at is a very basic entertainment center. You can plug your phone into it or Bluetooth your phone to it, get some jams going in this thing, but you could also go big TV crazy. I think you could throw a 40-incher up there, no problem. There's plugs if you wanted to expand at a Roku stick or anything like that. There's all kinds of stuff you could do here. This does have a sliding pocket privacy door that we're walking past. You can see the latch for it right there. But see that little metal plate? It actually has a handy little magnet to keep it shut at night. Another thing I like is because this is a taller camper, they do include right on the wall, right where you'd walk in or out, a light switch, which makes a terrible amount of sense, doesn't it? And over here, this is so cool. I can't believe more brands haven't copied this. The CPAP storage cabinet over here, that cutaway in the side closet. First of all, if you're claustrophobic, you're not going to feel quite so plugged in there. But you see how the household outlet is inside the closet. Perfect for CPAP machines. You've got phone charging USB plugs on over there too. And you have the same treatment on both sides. Both side stands have the exact same equipment. They didn't do it on one and cheat you on the other. Now, this is a Camp Queen. However, if you notice, there is room here to upgrade yourself. If you wanted a longer 80-inch queen, you can do that and still walk around the bed. But really, the coolest thing in the Wildwood bedroom is none of that to me. It's the storage. Because with this easy lift bed out of the way, you see that you can actually get to the pass-through compartment here. So if cargo shifts around, you can get to it. But they nicely partition it off so you have separate inside and outside storage. And what I love about that, it's simple, it's light, it's inexpensive, it didn't cost you much, and it is incredibly effective. The little cube tote organizers, you can collapse them, you can load them up. If you got 4 people in the camper, everybody has their own socks and underwear drawer. Basically, it can act like dresser space. You can take that off there, make that a little cat shelter. There is another kind of shoe garage space below that. But that's not all. I feel like an infomercial. But wait, there's more. Next to that air venting extra large viewing window over here, and also next to where you could install a TV in the bedroom if you're so inclined, you have yourself an additional, I don't want to call it a walk-in closet because I don't know that you really walk into it deep enough, but it's bigger than a coffin. I mean, if coffin closet storage, if you wanted to, big stuff. And I suppose that would be another place you could put brooms, but frankly, I think this is the hide-and-seek place. And there's not a single thing in this RV that you cannot access with the slide closed. Now, it certainly gets a little tighter over here, but even at my size, I don't really have to do much more than even a half step sideways and blammo, I'm in the living room. Now, if we look over here, the way this Versa Lounge kind of wraps around the island, well, not island, but peninsula, if you don't want to step over it, remember you can always use the second entry door from the bathroom directly, but it ain't exactly really hard to make one quick step over this thing. And now we're back here, we're to the fridge, the pantry, the bunks, and this bathroom door can open and close unimpeded. So like I said, if you're looking for full traveling access, or if you're at a storage site, like let's say you can't put down those stable steps, you can always come in this back bathroom door, you can always access and navigate the entire RV without having to move it. Shifting gears to jumping under the front bed pass-through compartment, you see it is tall, it is wide, it is large. They keep the handles for things like the strong arm stabilizer jacks, your power tongue jack override, and then they include a handy little drill bit adapter over there, and that is for what I like to call the cordless jack system on the Wildwoods. So it's a manual jack. But the thing is, Wildwood manual jacks are rated for more weight than most things in this class. They add more stability. Then you've got the stable steps that we're about to see. Then you've got those yellow strong arm stabilizer jacks. This is one of the least rock and rolly kind of trailers, well, at least until you turn on the music, that is, that you can find. Simple side mount solar prep plug there to keep the 12-volt batteries going if you are off grid. And then over here on the stable steps, Wildwood is thankfully using the newer variety of these. Instead of the adjustment pegs, they just have that little lever latch there, that silver thing sticking out, and you can simply pull the leg out. You can easily extend the leg anytime, and then you just manually unlock it and retract it as needed. We'll come back to the campsite of the RV. We're wedged a little closer here than what I would like, but we're going to make it work, guys. We're doing it live. The exterior of this, being a full bright white, will keep the RV cooler in the hot summer sunshine because you're organically spilling off more heat energy from the sun, more solar radiation, rather than absorbing it. Over here on the front, couple things. Power tongue jack, standard. So it's just simple, easy, don't gotta worry about it. I like how they're giving us the little kind of hooks and plug buddy to keep them up out of the dirt. And right next to that, we have a 12-volt disconnect switch. Now, the 12-volt fridge that we saw inside, you can turn that off itself on the inside. But the disconnect switch, what's nice about that is when the RV is in storage, things like your stereo, other appliances, they don't turn off. They go into low power mode, not no power mode. And that will prevent phantom load from eating your batteries when you're not using the camper. I'll lift this door closed. You see the little black dot on the sidewall? That is a magnet holdback for the baggage door there. And if we get down here, you get to see a cool thing. The underbelly is heated and enclosed, but it's enclosed with a different material Wildwood calls the accessibelly. It is more impact resistant and way, way easier to work with from a service standpoint. Good look at those panoramic windows there. Actually, I mentioned those. Let me get you up closer so you can see you've got just huge, massive viewing windows. And then you've got cross breeze windows on the side of the slide there. And as we back up, I'd like to direct your attention to the top corner of that where you see slide awning prep. And there is a cold breeze whipping through here. The temperature dropped 10 degrees while I was inside of that. My fingers are about frozen right now. This does have a fully walkable roof. You've got 3/8 roof decking, 16-inch on center average roof, sidewall trusses, 12-inch on center average floor studs with a 5/8 tongue and groove plywood floor decking. Basically, normal RV construction in this class. It gets the job done very, very nicely. Little detail things you don't always catch on a Wildwood, though, that you can't see from here. Watch how we have a factory video tour of the Wildwood plant. It'll teach you more under the skin than I can possibly describe here. One of the cool things that you'll see is like where the outside speakers are mounted over here, it actually has purpose use plywood backers. They don't just use like scrap. It's the only area in this RV where they use that specific size of plywood. So everything on this is made by intention. Wildwood is what I call an alpha brand, not like a leftovers brand. And in case you're new to all this RVing stuff and you're like, why is there a door to the toilet? First of all, remember, deadbolts for security and privacy. Secondly, it will cut down on so much foot traffic through this camper. It's just not even funny. And again, just like the Versa Lounge versus the Entertainment, the way everything shapes, plays together, fits on this one, it's so perfect. It's almost cheating. Like the way that your speakers are right in the middle of the awning, power awning with LED lighting, easy tilt by the way. But it's right here where your picnic table is going to be. There's an outside TV hookup right there. And you've got a cool little mini camp kitchen. In previous years in the RV industry, if you wanted a floor plan like this, you had to decide, do I either get a camp kitchen or do I get an entry door into the bathroom? And instead of giving you or, Wildwood gives you and. So you've got a little suburban griddle system right here. It slides right in and out. You don't got to take it apart or store it anywhere. Handy little detachable sprayer hose there. And I like how they're also giving you the sprayer handle so that you don't have to go getting your own. And we already talked about those entry steps right there, as well as the folding handle for that anti-slam door. I think we just about got her licked, guys. So if you like what you see, give us a call here at Haylett RV. We look forward to meeting you. We're family owned and operated, been here since 1989. Largest independent RV dealer in the state of Michigan, which is no small thing because there's some big corporate giants in the state. If you appreciate that, give us a call, give us a like, give us a subscribe. And remember, stay tuned to see the Wildwood Versa Lounge in all of its various forms and benefits. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy Haylett camping, everyone. So starting now, keep in mind that this is just generic footage to show you how the Versa Lounge works in all its different variations. Because we carry so many Wildwoods and this is available in so many models, and it takes a lot of time to juggle between all these different formats to do my job properly, I thought I'd kind of record something a little more generic, and I think you can definitely get the idea. So first of all, in the super slides of Wildwoods, you see that they do have the blackout kind of roller shades. What is really nice is they have slide side breeze windows. I just have those covered up so that window all the way down there on the end will open for airflow, regardless of what configuration you have the seating in. So if you're looking at it right now, this is what I call traditional, where you've got yourself a U dinette or a 2-bench dinette, because there are variants of the Versa Lounge both ways, depending on the floor plan you're looking at, and then a sofa over here. And that is a very normal configuration. You don't, see a whole lot of variance there. But if you take note, that rear well, the seat back closest to us on that U dinette, it looks a little different. That's because it's removable. So if you don't want it there, it doesn't have to be there. And that's what's really cool about this thing. This is like phase one of about 5 of the Versa Lounge arrangements. You can just create this wide open kind of super dining lounger hybrid combo job. Now that's a very technical term, you know. I understand if you need to back the footage up a little bit to pick up what I'm putting down right there, but you folks, you're tuned into Halo RV. I think you're pretty sharp. What's kind of cool about this is it kind of makes it easy to sort of slide over the table, slide over to the seating. There's really no like one way that you have to use this. It's just the way that works best for you and your family. Next, it folds down into one super slide, super seating sleeper setup. I know that's a lot of alliteration for one thing in RV, but you get the idea. Now, what I love about this is found, the Versa Lounge setup like this is found in all Super Slide, Wildwood, and X-Lights once again. Now, you tend to find a lot of bunkhouse models in those families, but they make quite a few couples campers too. So that means like a Super Slide rear living couples camper can convert down into being exceptionally guest friendly. And it's long enough that, like, I'm a tall person. If I had my head on the right hand side of the frame and then there was a second copy of me sleeping with my head against that far wall, you know, we might touch toes, but hey, no big deal. And most of the time you curl up and you're a side sleeper, you could make that work for a night, for a weekend. So it's good for more than just kids. It's also like adult guest friendly. Or frankly, some people have really big kids and they need a little bit more than, you know, just a conventional sleeper bunk setup. They need something longer. But one of the best and most unsung qualities of the Wildwood Versa Lounge is all of this huge tote storage space that you're looking at. This is, I believe it's 20.1 cubic foot of total tote storage. They're food safe containers, so if you want to put some crackers or Oreos or snacks for the kids in there, it's not going to be contaminated if the RV, you know, gets hot while it's in storage. You know, you could leave stuff in here if need be, especially if they're, you know, like non-perishable kind of things, but even if they're perishable stuff, you know, short-term kind of thing. You see that under the sofa there's like a drop-down face that, you know, flops down and you can pull those totes out. They're stackable, and frankly, guys, if you don't need them, don't use them. You know, there's nothing that says they have to stay here. They're not bolted to the camper by any stretch of the imagination. And where they're really useful is especially in bunk models, because what you can kind of do is dedicate each tote to one of the people in the RV. Like, say, the kids. And what you can do, my daughter, Chloe, what I could say is, okay, Chloe, I want you to take this tote, go upstairs to your room. There's clothes laying on your bed. I want you to put all those clothes in this and then bring it back to me. And bang, the kid's packed. It's an easy way to help get the kids involved. It's also an easy way to help keep all the kids' toys and clutter and everything, you know, under control. Now, under the rear dinette bench on U-dinette models, because remember, there are some just 2-bench dinettes, so this part of the video may not necessarily apply. Please keep that in mind. But they leave it wide open. And I like that because you could stuff more totes or duffel bags down there if you're so inclined, but I have long legs, and when I sit at something for a while, I tend to lean forward, and I like to curl my legs under me. Now, that's just me, but I looked at that and said, oh my gosh, I could actually be comfortable here, whereas... you know, a lot of dinettes just, they aren't comfortable for a bigger person like me, and I think I could really get along just fine on this one over here. But I think most of the time, this is how everyone's going to have this set up, at least most folks, not everybody. I tend to speak in absolutes. It's kind of a flaw that I have, because it gives us this extra large, stretch out, kick back, relax, cuddle up with the family napping lounge over here, whatever you want to call it. Somebody called it a fainting lounge on our YouTube channel. Is that a thing? Is that like a regional thing? Is that something from down south or out west that just this little Midwestern boy I don't know about? The fainting lounge where you can just walk up and faint on this thing? I don't know. You get the idea. Anyway, I like the fact that I could just sit in the corner. I could stretch out. And on most models where you find the Versa Lounge, like this is a good example, it will actually help you face the entertainment center more organically and give you a more enjoyable experience overall. You know, there's so many good things. Like, I haven't even talked about the accent lighting over the slide that makes the whole RV look bigger. There's so many good parts about this. And what's cool is when it is in L lounge, fainting, napping, family cuddle mode, whatever you want to call it, you don't lose a dinette. And where I think this is perfect is if you do have kids or guests like this, if you're in a bunkhouse, you still have a little spot where you could sit down, make the kiddos a sandwich or, you know, hot pocket or whatever. You get the idea. Hot pocket. And please don't sue me. You could still have a little spot there. They could play some little board games or something, card games in the corner. But you're still kind of right next to everybody. Everybody's still in the mix. And that's what camping's about for me. It's trying to get everybody together so that everyone has a good time. And I think this is a great way to do that. No matter your style of camping, no matter how many people are camping, this offers something for everybody. It's why I call it a Swiss Army sofa seat.